Okay, so we are now live. Hello, everyone. So I'm very much happy to introduce today in this session to introducing one of my friend and very good friend. She's V or Veeveka from Norway. So V, can you please introduce yourself a bit so that people can know more about you as much as you want. It's up to you.
So, the theme of this dialogue or meeting is who I am. So I purposely chose to not give any details about myself. So I think we're always becoming someone. Yes, we're always becoming someone and having some attributes, places we are born, school we went to, place we live in, and the world we travel, people we know, everything defines us. And I don't want to define myself. So I want to stay open, and it makes me feel more free if I do not describe myself so much. It gives me a sense of freedom. So I am who I am. Hello,
Yes.
nice people.
Yeah. So actually, the reason of today's session is that we often very much busy with defining ourselves, and this creates conflict and sometimes even some problems in people in our minds. And actually, modern neuroscience also says that what we define as self is an illusion created by our brains for an evolutionary purpose. And we will discuss later about this. And why I invited V is that people need to be introduced with people who are practicing this kind of notion that to so that they can just get rid of the labeling, and they can live in a way which is more natural and more genuine, more authentic. So whenever we think ourselves not to be confined in a single body within our skin, then it is possible to feel the greatness, the oneness. That is, we are all part of nature, part of everything, and everything is just projected onto us. So, in this way, we are never disconnected. And the more we are confined with our personal identity, what we, as he said earlier, that what we have learned or what where I studied this and that, so that in this way we our autobiographical memory that also that makes an illusion, and it is a narration created by our brain. And so it goes this way. We will go deeper into this later in our discussion. So at that point I would like to ask a question, that is why you how did you come to this way of thinking?
All right. I think, of course, everybody has their own way, and I had my own. I mean, I just started to see observe, and I notice that in my life, certain situation happens all over. Okay, you meet them all the time, the same thing. Even though you meet different people, you still meet when you're in contact with these people, so you meet the same emotions within you. So, and the situation that continuously repeating themselves. So I start to wonder what is it? What is it happening? But the major turning point in my life was a study and my life situation that was very tough at the time and very challenging. So actually it was so challenging that all my world point changes upside down. So I start questioning myself, is this is it? Is that is what life is about? Always some struggle, some worries, some problems. So, and I start to invest my time to read about these things. And nowadays we have so many information, access to so much information. So I opened myself completely different world. So I can today, after maybe around 15 years of my research, of my practice, I can say that we are not who we think we are, definitely. And it's very much possible to become open. So the same way open as when we were kids, we were born with no name, with nothing, okay? But so kids, they manage, due to this openness, actually, they manage to smile to this world. They explore this world. Everything is open to them. So after a while, when we're growing, so we get told that we are this and we are that, and what you are and what you're not. And so you get this kind of feedback all the time. So before, as a kid, you were open and you start to get this information from all the sides from your environment who tells you who you are and who you are not. So I think some part of ourselves we start hiding, we start protecting ourselves, and from this point our identity start to get to some shape. So, and depending on the starting point, so further in life, we just add more and more and more and more to this identity. We associate ourselves with it, and it's like a growing onion, yes, with many, 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 many layers. So what are this layer? What this layer consists of? It's our story. So everything we have heard about us, ourselves, anything we have read, anything we've seen on TV, although we consist of when not only our mind, yes, not only identity, we consist of food we eat, information we consume, and our environment. So in the end, everything we have done in our life, it's in a way define us. But this definition at the same time is how to say it? It's a frame. It's a frame you not can see more than this you have already seen. I mean by that, because your definition, your frame consists of anything what happened in the past. Yes. So even science now, they proved very much that when our brain registers something half minute after it already happened. So our mind cannot see more than it is already. Our mind can see things that it's already have experienced. That means by the definition of ourselves. And when we are so attached to it, when we are so identified with it, so this is the thing we can see: our past, our history. So nowadays I'm practicing to not name any parts of myself. And it may seem like a small thing if you don't name it. I say, I don't know who I am. So in this way, if I know that every day, if I say that every day, I manage to become more and more and more open to this world, because I'm not getting stuck of something I am all the time. Yes, and I have to fight for who I am, because if you know who you are, you always have to prove. You have to be, you have to defend yourself and prove this is who I am. So behind all this picture, we are much more free, much more joyful. We are happy, joyful, loving human beings behind all this accumulated identity. But we cannot feel it because, as I said, we are so much identified with it. And we're often not even begin to wonder. Yes, sometimes it takes a long time to begin to wonder, what is this all about? Who I am? So where are we going? What's the goal? This kind of question. Yes.
Okay. So it's a really a very interesting journey, I should say. And but I just because here I want you to share some aspects of your journey. How would you, because people would say that okay, if we just want to discard all these labels, all these say adjectives of from us, how would we survive in this world? That is, our world is this urbanization and this socio-cultural, this kind of mixing with other people. So people cannot just get rid of their interaction with others because we are social being. And so the question is, have you faced any difficulties in socialization with other people in your community, in your society, or in your circle of friends, or in your family members, or in your relatives, while you have just willingly discarded this kind of labelings from your identity? What is the reaction from them, or how did you face it? Difficult or easy?
All right. I mean, okay. I have experienced different levels of awareness. Yes. So in my experience, so I can say when when I'm less aware, like I'm going back to my identity with my mind, like I'm more connected to my mind than to being. Because when you just are, our nature is love. Our nature is joy. It is naturally in us, and compassion. It is naturally in us. So in this sense, Atiq, you have us. This is a very deep, big topic. Actually, for me, I find it very difficult to talk about this in just like general, because if I explain it in very general terms, maybe very many people can misunderstand. So you have to kind of go a little bit into depth and explain it so that the people can understand it in general terms. Yes, because it is such a tiny details. Is such a spiritual experiences. They are not so easy to generalize and say, okay, this is it. And because they are so also very much different among other people, yes. So so I would actually have some other session just to just go into the depth of exactly because I think in a way it can also be a little bit dangerous if it just explains in general and then people just misunderstand. But I can say in very general, to not without going in depth, that the one who is saying, I mean, you mean that it can be challenging to meet the world. Not fully aware, yes. So challenging for who?
For yourself, because you might
uh,
face confrontation.
if we go back to who am I? So if I just me, it is you know, if you just are living through your emotions, you are open to the world. You are just open. You are just being. So everything what comes your way, you are just open to that. You don't meet the wall. So you kind of live through. So you don't manage to create a problem out of this.
Yes.
So you mean it can be a problem. The problem is when you're very much in your mind. So another people also in their mind. And when two minds meet, so we get very often this, okay? Because one mind got its own past, the another mind got its own past. They have their pain, they have their joy, and they hide different parts of themselves, and they have to show who they are. So then conflict is very natural. So this would be a kind of a general answer to this question. Otherwise, so if you open and you're joyful, for example, when you fall in love, yes, when you fall in love, you're full of good emotions, yes, and you are so happy, nothing bothers you. And imagine this situation when you are so happy, the way you look at the world exactly at this moment, you don't mind. Yes, big problem, suddenly no problem for you. So you have completely different look of the world. And imagine yourself then like very depressed. Not even have to be very depressed, but anything just like normally people are. So you will see problems because your energy is negative. So you will see negative things in everywhere. If you are joyful, you will see positive things everywhere. So there is nothing is that against us in this world. Everything is for us, and you can see it, you can understand it, you can feel it when you are joyful that everything is for you. So because you manage to see other things than you would normally do. Yes, with your mind, because when you're joyful, your mind is relaxing. Mind is very much on when it is challenging, it is problems. Mind likes this kind of things, yes.
So that's really a good explanation, and I can supplement something because as you told that when you are just not labeling you with any identity, actually there is some magic happens, and I personally I have also experienced this kind of stuff, and you might know the uh, we call an individual a person, and the word person comes from the Greek word persona, and persona means it's a kind of it's a disguise, it's a mask. So in earlier Greek theaters, they used to play different roles, and they used some masks, wearing masks. And so when we just act as a person, we use different masks in different situations. When I'm in my family, I have to wear the mask of a father, the mask of a husband. When I am in a social gathering, and then I wear the appropriate mask suitable for that situation. But and I have found always this wearing this kind of mask is annoying and discomforting, because this is not natural. As you told that we naturally we are free, we are like children, but we have learned to wear masks to match the social circumstances. So when, and this is the beginning of our sufferings, and when we just devoid of these masks, just be as I am, as you feel, then actually everything changes. Because we think that if I do not wear a mask, then people might misinterpret me. But actually, people will be rather people will be very much attracted to you, because people, everyone is always hiding behind the mask, and when they find someone not wearing mask, it is very strange to them. And actually, they think that person to be something not uh, human, and they consider it to be a superhuman trait. So our goal is to teach, or is to disseminate this information to people, that you don't need to wear your masks, and how to get rid of this. It is very easy, as I sometimes said, and I told you earlier, that when we are just stop judging ourselves, because we have some traits, some we consider to be good, some to be bad, and we are always very much ashamed of our bad traits, so-called bad traits. But if we consider all to be natural, then they are all our traits and our natural traits, so nothing to be blamed for. So when we embrace all our traits, accept them and love them with kindness, then instead of being our enemies, they would become our friends, because now they will get recognition from us. For example, if I have a tendency of say hatred or jealousy or anger, anything, so throughout our lives we have tried to fight them, but we never succeeded, because it is just against nature to overcome our traits. For example, we cannot change our fingerprints, so this is our trait and we cannot judge them. Just my fingerprint is bad, the fingerprint of other is good, no. And if we look at the clouds in the sky, we do not judge them. Okay, this piece of cloud is beautiful than the other piece. Or when we look at the waves in the ocean, we do not judge them. This wave is good, better than the others. They are all natural. They have their own beauty. And so in all my traits, they have their own beauties. So when I feel depressed, for example, because our brain works in a way, we feel emotion that it comes and goes, and in different moment we have different kind of emotions, and actually we can't help it, we can't control them. And for example, today morning, for sometimes for a few hours I was feeling depressed, and it happens, it's very natural for us. We cannot be joyful all the time. So when I feel depressed, what I do, I do not try to conquer them. I do not try to control them or reverse them. I do not try to displace my attention through watching some movie or music. I just try to embrace them. I just try to feel it more with all my sense organs, so that I can truly feel them and absorb them. So the more I absorb, actually, the more I become resilient. So instead of fighting with all traits, better to embrace them. Then we can step towards something bigger than we imagine. And at that moment, whenever any people come close to you, you can help them, because you are not wearing masks and you are accepting all your traits. So you are becoming someone who can transmit that energy, that enlightenment to others. And all people, all other coming to your contact will be benefited. So this is my notion, and I think it is quite in line with what you told, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, there are many ways to explain the same phenomena. So, in the lately, so I came over to metaphor. Yes, for
Yeah.
that. I started to play music, so it was suddenly very obvious when I played music, because on the piano we have white keys and we have black keys, and then so I thought, well, everybody likes to be joyful. Everybody likes these good feelings. So why do we suppress something, some other type of feeling? And what is actually makes us feel unpleasant? So I thought, when I looked at my keyboard, I thought, well, it's definitely like this, that most of us like to play a white keys. Okay, no one ever want to play a black keys, but the life's melody is such, just like pianos, only when we're playing all keys the music becomes very nice. Because you can play, of course, certain music with white keys, but only with them. But it would be less colors. So in life, it's like this. There are many colors. So why do we suppress these feelings? I think partly it happens because, first of all, we are unaware of this process. We are unaware what is happening to us in this moment, and for most, we can say, sorry, it's another people that is causing this bad feelings in us. It's nothing to do with us, yes, but we have to see that it's only ourselves who is in control of this feeling. So if I want to be joyful, how can anyone else change me to be something else?
Perfect.
So that it just means in this moment, when we think that someone makes us feel bad or good, actually, whatever they make them feel, however we think people make us feel, it have to only depend on us. But in this certain moment, we are our attention is so much out there that we forget what is happening here. So when we feel these emotions coming, people get angry and emotions are rising. And soon it's taking over everything. So people lose control. Afterwards, after some situation, they say, after some conflict, people used to say, oh, I lost my mind. So where have your mind been in this moment? So emotions took over everything. That means in this particular moment, you are not in control of what is happening to you. So, and that is something no one can cause you. If you're not able to manage your emotions, if you're not able to focus on yourself and manage yourself, so who else can do it? Then you would be triggered. And so also the other aspect of that is we have different names of these emotions. So, and in the process, we have learned it in so good. Negative emotion, fear. Okay, we're afraid. So what do we put into this word? how do we define it? So, and why do we define it? Let's stop defining any emotion. So because when you define, you already stored some information in this definition of how you should feel.
Yes.
Okay. So, and it's already part of the reaction. So you think something, bad, good, many other things, and okay, you saying this word, and the content of the word, it arises the reaction in you. Yeah, so we name the emotions. Okay, if they have no name, if we stop label things, like in situations with people, because we cannot see them, we see always ourselves because we're looking through the filter of our mind. So when we look at other people, we can manage to see ourselves, but not this other person. And so in this, I lost it. I lost it.
Okay, so what you were telling that, okay, so when we just put name for our emotions or everything, then actually we somehow kind of predetermine the nature of that emotion, and then we are just kind of primed to feel that way. That is when I'm afraid, this is this and that, this is a bad emotion, I become envy, I become say reactive to others. So these all traits comes into, and I just start to play those roles. And I was also thinking something like this, as you were telling me today, a while ago today, that okay, so what if when I am just staying there, and say I am this is in my sight, I am watching this, but whenever we see something or we watch something or something comes to our brain through our model sensory modality, sometimes the names come to us, right? Okay, so this is a brown or something, this kind of a cover, and this is a cell phone. So why I just stop uh, uttering any words for them, just watch them as they are, without putting any name on that object and everything around me. So I have tried it, and I found it to be very fascinating when I consciously stop recalling or just phrasing them and naming them, and so I can see everything just as they are. So this is really a very good practice. Yeah.
Yes,
You're right.
because when you normally look at something or someone, you just seeing the things you already know. Okay, if we define the cat, if you say, okay, this is the cat, and we kind of from before we know everything what cat is about. And the moment we're looking at the cat, we see the information we have already gathered from before. If we don't, if we take this, all the information away and not label the cat, and we just try to look at the cat with just completely open mind. Even in the ant, you would see a miracle. You will not understand this. You don't know what this cat is about. You don't know what this ant is about. It's a whole universe. And every little cell, and we don't even know how it came to life, why it's this kind of color, why it's doing these things. And so there is so much more to see if you just try to put everything behind you, everything that you already know, and just to try to observe without putting any labels. You will be able to learn so much more. You will be able to see so much more. So the same thing happens when we meet our other people. So we define them. We define them, and then our mind kind of already calculated.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
because on the first place, we also see in other people what we self-like or dislike, what we are scared for, or what we're avoiding, or what we're liking, what we're loving, whatever. We see ourselves in these people, and then actually, no, I'm stuck in the same place.
Yeah.
Um,
So and we put and we uh, just make our mind about them. We just characterize them in our own way.
so we don't even give people a chance and
Hmm.
chance to ourselves to
Yeah.
actually meet these people.
Hmm.
And then we're getting into roles and yes, how socially acceptable norms and everything we have to think of in this processes. Well, this unconscious processes happens by itself, right? And I mean, we cannot see each other, we cannot hear each other
Hmm.
because both of us just in each other's minds.
Hmm.
And so I mean it's not effective. It's
Yeah.
not effective. And yeah.
And here I can share one thing that when in my practice, when some client or patient come to me, I most often I do not ask their names because I don't need to know who they are. I don't need to uh, what they do or how did or what is the name of their school or university, because I don't need those information. I just need to see that person through. And so I don't need any external information to know this information. But we have learned to ask questions, many questions. Okay, so many questions that people get overwhelmed, and actually they come to know you. We just stuck and we just go, okay, if this information will come to help, we try to get information using those information, using those information just provided by them. But actually we don't need, as you said, we just keep ourselves open and just try to connect with them. And how we can connect with them? Just by not asking any specific anything. They will open up, they will share, because they will find yourself then that you are a person, a dependable person, who they can rely, who they can share with their own feelings, because you are not judging, you are not asking questions
You're
or
not.
trying to learn something.
Mhm. I think somehow, you know, this in this universe, we humans, we are not just we are not even piece of dust in the universal sense,
Mhm.
right? So it is actually very questionable. Why are we our mind, our own mind, why is it so much important in whole this universe? Yes, you just try to zoom out into the cosmos and look down into this earth. You will not notice any humans here.
Yes, obviously. Yes.
Who are we? So we're nobody. And
Yeah.
but people used to like dress into something like identify themselves,
Distinguish themselves. And
distinguish themselves, yes. And then yeah, so actually all the relational problems come because we have very strong definitions about ourselves.
Yeah.
So we cannot see each other, we cannot hear each other, and the mind, because we're feeling, because we haven't got control of our emotions and the mind's process. So the mind is always up and down, up and down. So one day we love this person, another day we don't love this person anymore. So it's depending of how your mind feels.
Yeah.
Certain moment, what it has accumulated. I mean, we could live so much more happily. But I wanted to suggest actually just one small exercise, like
Yeah.
practice. Just a
Please.
very, very tiny. I mean, imagine, okay, this is the past and this is the future. We can all agree that future is not here, okay? No one ever has been in the future. So we cannot talk about the future. Maybe our mind can guess what in the future can happen, but future is never here. Future is not here. Either not the past is here, because even though we're carrying the past with us every day, but it's not here at this moment. So nowadays, everyone, like a big slogan, everyone want to be in the moment. And that means, oh, you're gonna do crazy things. You're gonna do things here and now. Whatever is that, okay? But staying in the moment means actually that you're not in the past and you're not in the future. Because in the process, your mind is always in the past, yes? And then on basis of the past information of your history, is try to build this way into the future. So but it's also imagination. Yes, the mind's imagination about the future. So if we just here and now, we just think, we just imagine that there is no past, okay, and there is no future. Here and now. What are we in this moment? Just try it for yourself. You can say, if you just take away these two dimensions, you're always swimming, like you are swimming in these dimensions. Your mind is swimming there. Yes?
Yeah.
Your mind is always there, either in the past, either in the future. So it doesn't let you to stay in this moment. So everybody who says, yes, we we're gonna stay in this moment, we're gonna do it, now, we live now. So actually, it's still the mind who is working. Actually, I think people many times misunderstood what it really means to stay in the moment. So it's when your mind is just here, it's open, it's clean in a sense. that is clean from the past, and then it doesn't have to go into the future either, because these calculations go just like this. Yes. So if you, everyone now, imagine that this dimension doesn't exist. So ask yourself, who are you in this moment? Who are you? You don't know. You just are. And suddenly, in this particular moment, you kind of like, okay, like waking up. Okay. And then after some few seconds, mind gathers, everything comes together, and your story starts again. But of course, many people need different practices, mindful practice, and there are a lot of them out there. I mean, if practice this kind of thing, you will start to get more and more and more aware, because
Yeah.
actually it's like you're waking up from your mind story each time. Okay, you have to remember this dimension doesn't exist. They've been there, but right now they are not here. So why do we want to go back there all the time? We're not aware of what's happening within our mind. So practice. And each time you wake up little bit, like these moments are gonna get longer. And you will start to get more and more aware. So, and then you will gonna be less and less identified with your past. And so you would feel sense of freedom. And freedom, if you feel free, you can let other people feel free.
Yeah.
If you feel love inside you, not because of something, not because you have this and that, or whoever you have, just you feel love, you're happy, you feel free. So this is exactly what you would give other people.
Yeah.
And so we have to analyze for ourselves, what is that we can give to people by being in our past. Yeah. Love each other.
So really, this was a very fascinating topic, and we had a very good discussion. So I think we will continue this kind of discussion in our subsequent sessions. And so I think we are we have passed almost an hour, and so I think for today's session, what would be your last words to the audience, Dee? Some advice or some of it from your own experience, what you want to share them.
Advice. I mean, we should start thinking, reflecting of our thought process, our doings. We should start asking ourselves questions of who we are. Go go some steps behind and just reflect. It's a huge process, and for someone it's easier, for someone it's harder. But I mean, you gain everything just if you start to turn back into yourself. And it's not only for you gain, it's gain for everyone. Everyone around you will gain from that. You are happy, that you are free. Yes, so much
So
to everyone.
thank you, V, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much, Atiq. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.